We get you started right here, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, every day, Monday through Friday, only on FS1. Back here, first things first, we're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
What, you dapping people now? What do you got?
I sneezed earlier, and so I would feel badly shaking his hand.
Yeah, we had to get you a tissue, but it wasn't big enough. We're searching for a curtain.
Did you say it wasn't big?
Nose joke.
That's very funny.
That's my guy there.
Big game in the association last night. Broussard. Bucks taking on the Sixers. Giannis making a strong last push for MVP nod. The Greek Freak went off 45 points, 13 boards, 6 assists, not to mention 4 blocks on the most unstoppable player, Joel Embiid. So Milwaukee won 128-122. They lock up the top seed in the East. Broussard, what did Giannis and the Bucks show us in their win over the Sixers last night?
Well, Giannis showed us that he is definitely the MVP. And not only that, and I usually don't give this award away or this title away officially.
Oh, here we go.
Until the playoffs, because you got to get it done in the postseason.
Okay.
He's the best player in the world. He did it every single way it could be done last night. He drove to the bucket. He posted up. He hit mid-range shots. He hit three-point shots. He blocked the best big man in the league four times. He led the fast break. He had 11 points in the fourth quarter. He had a late assist. I mean, what else could he do? And his guy, Eric Bledsoe, went out with 3 minutes left. Chris Middleton was limited to 25 minutes. So we hear all the talk about Harden and what he did without CP3 and Clint Capella. I mean, clearly Giannis, if he had to, I'm not saying he put up Harden 36 points a game, but he could do more. And so this guy is incredible. We've never seen anything like it. We talk about Kevin Durant. We've never seen anything like him.
Right.
We talk about, he's talked about Porzingis, a unicorn. This guy, and he hit 3 3-pointers last night. Right. I mean, once he gets that down to, what, 35% in a few years, I mean, this is unbelievable what we're watching.
So I'm not ready to say either of the things that you said, but damn, it's close. Like, I think Harden has such a strong MVP case still to me.
And he still would vote for Giannis. I'm like, what's going to happen in, what, 3-4 games he got left?
Correct. There's probably not going to be a paradigm shift. I just don't know if Giannis actually is ahead. Harden, to me, has been drastically more effective offensively, but Giannis might be the defensive player of the year. So it is so hard to weigh. I think this is the closest MVP race we've had certainly since Nash's second, and maybe we can go back further. And as far as best player alive, to me that's an interim belt right now. He's playing like it though. And listen, Giannis, this is not me hating on Giannis. Giannis is my preseason pick. I've been talking about Giannis since year 3. I think he is going to be the best player alive for a long time if he isn't already, to your point. To me, though, last night was not just about Giannis. It was about the Bucks continuing to check every box a championship contender has to check. Going to win 60 games. They probably have the MVP. Super elite on offense. #1 defense. Very good coach. Deep rotation. Can hit the 3. Like, everything you need from a championship contender. And by the way, not just championship contender, they profile as an elite level championship team, right, as far as teams that have won titles in history. And they did it last night coming back. See, you were talking about it before. Philly could have won this game. Yes. Philly was up 6 with 4.5, 5 minutes left. And Giannis propelled them without his point guard.
I love what you're saying, because now April 5th, 2019, we know Nick now. He's hard charging now. He's going to hold on to the LeBron thing forever. Right. He was saying LeBron was the greatest, even though he's not the greatest, long before. And then he'll be still yelling afterwards. The echo of it will be long after. Right. So we understand that. Right now, we could say if Giannis was on the Lakers would be in the playoffs. If Harden was on the Lakers, they would be in the playoffs. Like, we can say those things. So he might say that, oh, one of them might be holding the belt interim until next season. But when you're the greatest player, there's no one saying you're going to hold it for 5 years. Right. It starts with getting it. Right. And right now, one of those two players, and what Giannis did last night, that's why he should be in the conversation. Only played 34 minutes. And as much as he handles the ball, as much as he backs people down, as much as he's out on transition, 0 turnovers. So for me, if he can hit 1 or 2 of those straight on three-pointers, it makes him unguardable.
Yep.
He backed Joel Embiid into the post, gave him 3 different moves, gave him a right hook, gave him a left layup, and then shot a turnaround jump shot on a 7-footer. Now, I ain't going to talk about what he did to Ben Simmons. Excuse me. One more, boom, and then banged on him. We should be talking about Giannis and giving him the type of credit. Yeah, we can talk about Milwaukee, what they're going to do in the playoff, but what Giannis is doing is special on both ends of the basketball court.
And
Chris.
something else, what was even more telling to me than Milwaukee was Philly. Because what you said just a few minutes ago, Philly could have won this game. They were up 6. How often do we say that against a good team? We could have said that in all 4 losses against Boston last year in the play.
3 of the 4.
This is their problem. They don't execute down the stretch.
But that's why they got Jimmy Butler, and he wasn't there last night.
Okay, fine, but he's not the answer to everything. I agree, they're better with him.
They wouldn't have had an answer for Giannis.
No, they wouldn't have had no answer for him. But they had Ben Simmons, and I've been a fan of Ben Simmons since he got in the league, or even before that. Like, I think the guy can be a great player, an all-time great player. He has got to get a jump. Like, he is a liability right now. Because the reason Joel Embiid is taking so many threes and out on the post is because they got to put, what's his name, Simmons in the post so they'll guard him. And then you have to put Embiid out on the 3. They had Tobias Harris bringing the ball up in the 4th quarter because I need somebody to be a threat on that pick and roll. Like, Ben is becoming a problem. As great as he is, he's becoming a huge liability.
And this has been Chris's point for a year and a half, and so I will give you credit. The problem, though, last night was not Philly's offense. The problem
at the end it was.
Well, they
had 2 turnovers in the last 2 minutes.
Yes, but what predicated that was they allowed 46 4th-quarter points. And this is where, to me, Philly's the most disappointing, because we knew at the All-Star break that Ben Simmons didn't have a jump shot. We knew maybe a month into the season that whatever he did this summer, he didn't spend his time wisely. They shouldn't be a top 10 defense. With this personnel, they should be a top 3 or 4 defense, and that to me is the disappointing thing about Philly. I want to respond to the one thing you said about the LeBron thing quickly for a moment versus Giannis. I believe Giannis is going to be the best player in the world. I also agree with what Chris said in the beginning. That is a title that is typically earned in the postseason. Steph, if it was earned in the regular season, Steph would have been the best player in the world for a couple years.
Well, he was viewed.
He was close.
People that wouldn't give him the best player in the world just because of the defense and all that. But he became the face of the league.
He became the face of the league. And if they had finished off the up 3-1, 73-win team, he would have been considered the best player in the world. So it is tough for me to get a title that a guy's had for over a decade to give it to somebody in April rather than June. But LeBron's not going to go into next season as the consensus best player in the league for the first time in a decade. He's going to have to go earn that back. So it's not quite the echo of it the way you phrased it, C, but I just don't think you can officially earn that title in April. You can be league MVP, but you can't take that title.
Nick, we got our own show. We can do whatever we want.
Okay.
April the 5th, 2019. Make it a declaration.
Okay.
Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay, the eyes got it.
I agree.
Jenna, you agree?
Whatever you say, I'm on board. Of course. Coming up, is Zion already